Hey guys, so today we're going to have a little chat about the pros and cons of a panel van versus a Luton Box van. So, what are the pros and cons? What do we find, as we've owned both, the benefits of each? And which one do we think wins the battle if there was to be a winner? So,
Fight.
So, I'll let you go first. Panel van,
Pros or cons?
Eva?
Okay. Panel van. So the pros I would say with a panel van for me are that you can park it basically anywhere. It's more stealthy, if that's a word. A lot of people don't really take much notice of a panel van. Trying to think now. So parking for me, a panel van also, I guess, bridges. You can probably take it down some of the tightest country roads. Living in it, I'd say for me, the pros with Luna was you have back doors, so you could open the back doors. You've got a sliding door. The sliding door was easy to let Patch out and do his business. You could just throw up all your windows open. Economical. I think that's about it, really. It's spacious. If you get a long wheelbase, I think if you get a short wheelbase, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah. You've
Or
got more choices of
and a
what you want
high,
to build inside,
yeah.
definitely.
I wouldn't say it's the easiest to build inside.
Well, that's the thing. This is where, to me, the Luton van would win on a conversion purely because of the space. So if you've got a panel van, obviously the sides sort of curve in at the top, the majority of them, whereas a Luton van, straight. So when you're sort of moulding units, wall units, or anything like that, you've got to sort of mould it like that. Whereas on a Luton van, it's straight squares. You know.
Yeah, I think as well, like you said with a box van, is we have a bed that's permanently a bed, and we have a seating area. We've got a staircase. We've got underfloor storage, under stair storage. The kitchen's massive. The living room's massive. We've still got wardrobes. And then there's none of that having to convert our bed down every night from a sofa,
Exactly.
which can be a bit of a ball ache sometimes. But I think the height and the space in a box van outweighs a panel van.
Yeah.
100%.
But then it also depends with a panel van who it's for. Obviously, we lived 2 years in the panel van, happy as anything.
Yeah.
We had the dinette bed. Some people have a fixed bed, so they have the garage underneath and all these things like that. Some people don't have all the overhead cabinets and kitchen cabinets. They just have like a drawer unit or whatever. And so it all depends as well on how you design the build layout and what you want. So like you said, going down country lanes, it's easier in a panel van and probably get down a few more spaces. This one is 2.1 wide, where the Luton van is about 1.75 wide. So it's it's a good sort of 300-400 mil wider, which you have to consider on certain roads.
Yeah, but there are some negatives with this van. So for me, the negatives are obviously we have to be more aware of bridges. We find out that parking, just in a little, can be a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
If it's a small supermarket, it can be a bit of an issue, and they don't have double parking bays. And for me, I think my main bug is the height of it for Patch. So we've got to keep a tailgate, and it's not as easy as in a panel van. I could just put his lead on his harness and he would jump out, do his business, and jump back in when he wanted to. I find in this van at the moment, I have to put his harness on him and his lead and literally go out, put the thing down, the lift, tail lift, and take him out to do his business, rather than that easy, simple way of just
kicking
letting him do his own
Boot
thing.
him
Yeah.
out.
So I think for me at the moment, the only con
Well,
is that
a con I've also got probably with the Luton compared to the panel van is the fuel consumption. We haven't done the proper test on it yet, so we don't know what the difference would be. Both the same engine and same van, LT35. But obviously with a panel van, you've got the aerodynamics. Whereas a Luton Box van, you've got a massive box above the cab, which is obviously going to...
And
fuel consumption, I would guess, in this Luton would be more than it would be in the panel van because of the aerodynamics.
Yeah, and now that you've said that, that's also brought me on to when we were living in the panel van, when we were in a really windy storm. It was nice, but you really notice it in a box van where you're just like, we've got stabilizers on this now, but even just before we did that, just getting in and out of the van and moving around, the whole van would just go.
It was like you're on a boat rocking it.
Yeah,
basically.
So I like that. So it's not an issue, and now we've got stabilizers that we can kind of control it a little bit more. Not so much like a boat. But for me, if I had to choose which one is going to be a box van, 100%. I'm never going back to a panel van again.
Also, when we're talking about panel vans, we're talking about high tops, so you can stand up. So, I mean, obviously, if you had a different sort of van, you'd have to be crouching around, which someone our age is probably not the best plan.
Do you know what? Anybody that lives in a van like that, my hat is off to you, because that cannot be an easy way to live.
No.
Right?
So,
and we were lucky with Luna because we built it in a way that it was still really spacious.
Yeah.
So we did have a dinette area that we could have a coffee table as well, and then somewhere to work and have guests round, and then have it as a bed in the evening. Or if we wanted to keep it as a bed, on winter, snowy days, and snuggle down and have a movie day, we could do that.
Yeah.
But this one, for me, the fact that there's so much space in there, the fact that there is a bed already made, so I just love saying I'm going upstairs to bed now.
Yeah, that's nice. It's sort of like a normal life, isn't it? It's like up to bed, coming down in the morning to have your coffee.
I do not feel like I'm living in a van.
Yeah.
I really don't. I feel like I'm living in one of those little tiny homes that you see in the middle of the woods somewhere, that somebody's made out of a container. But I think a really good point as well is Patch. He has so much space to just play now, whereas before he didn't have that space to play.
He had the narrow corridor, basically.
Yeah, whereas here we have so much space. We can put our legs out. I can lie on the floor and play with Patch. The kitchen is so spacious that both of us can just move around flowing, right?
But then also, like
I'm not banging my sides on the doors.
But then also where we got the wall units. Obviously, with the panel van, it's, like I said, 1,700 odd at the bottom. But when you get to the top, it's 1,500. So by the time you've got the wall units, they've come even further. Whereas this, because the wall's so far back, it feels so much more spacious where the wall units are. So that to me is another good thing, because obviously it feels larger just because you've got that extra 400mm at the top, not just at the bottom.
Yeah.
So it all feels more airy.
Yeah,
I mean, come winter time, it might be an absolute bugger to warm with a diesel heater. This is one of the questions we're having, which is why we were going to look at the log burner, which hasn't happened, unfortunately.
It is going to happen, though.
It will happen, but not right now, and possibly not this winter. But the diesel heater, that's going to be a interesting test for us, because obviously we know we don't like it hot. We're not one of these people who would have it like 24 degrees or keep it on full. We will literally have it on for 10 minutes, half an hour, and it gets to about 19 degrees and it's off, and we're happy with that. That's comfortable to us, and we are old school, so if it's cold, put a jumper on. Don't just go, oh, it's really hot, cold in here, I'm still walking around in a vest and a t-shirt and shorts, but I want my heating on full blast. We're not those people. We will wrap up before putting heating on. So, and with that, obviously a panel van being a bit more confined, it wouldn't take as long to warm up. This, again, being a wider open space, it's going to take longer to warm up. Will it hold the warmth as well? Obviously, the bed being a lot higher, then obviously heat rises, so we don't want it hot when we get into bed. or so it's all these things that it's going to be really interesting for us to find out. Another negative. Here we go. Another negative.
So for us, parking, like we were saying about parking a panel van, was we could just go into any park up, just park in. If we wanted the view from the back door, fine. Normally it was the side view for us, wasn't it? Yeah. However, in this van, it has to always go in backwards. So no matter where we are, it has to go in backwards, or if we're able to do it sideways, that's great as well. Because obviously you have to put a tailgate down, a tail lift down. So you've got to accommodate for that amount of space as well.
Yeah. So it's all different.
Yeah. So you do have to think, whereas before we didn't have to think about how we parked in. I know everyone says you should always first out in case you have to get out.
Reverse in so you can get out.
Yeah. So, but with this van, you definitely have to reverse in so that you're not impacting on other people that come into the park up, or when we've gone into supermarkets and places like that. I've found that's a bit of a ball ache if they haven't got the double spaces.
Yeah. I mean, another con for this Luton van would be the roof isn't as solid as a panel van. Obviously, being a panel van is metal and it's quite solid. Really, this is basically like rice paper. It's fiberglass, flimsy. Can't really do anything. So it's very easy. Certain places you can't park because if you park near trees, there's every chance.
Oh, we've already learnt that lesson. That way.
Not about as in trees coming sort of through it and scagging it, because we have been to some close areas where trees are, or the branches are sort of scraping the top a little bit, and we've had to move.
We've quite liked, unless it's a storm or it's very windy. I think we've now downloaded some more weather apps, haven't we? So that we're pretty on it when it comes to wind. Rain and stuff doesn't bother us, but I think we're a bit more aware of the wind living in this type of van, like you said, with trees. We have to make sure that we're not under trees, whereas before we used to like being under trees, unless it's a maniac of a storm.
I mean, we wouldn't park under a tree if it's below, under trees if it's crazy wind and stuff like that. And it wouldn't be under trees which look a bit dodgy. But it's all going to be a learning curve. But this is how we feel right now about it. So, do
I,
my beautiful Billie, do
I
have a winner?
Oh, for sure. I think everyone already knows that.
Panel van? No.
It's definitely a box van. I think when we were looking at vans, I did say, we were looking at panel vans, and I said, can we have a look at a Luton or a horse box?
Yeah.
I think if we had thought about it 3 years ago when we were looking for vans, I think we should have gone down this route.
100%.
I think it suits us way better.
Yeah, this is more us. But it's just like growing up, isn't it? It literally we've had our little starter room.
Bedsit,
and now we've got the flat. The apartment.
Yeah, the lorry is the house.
The 7.5 ton lorries come in next. But like I said, this is how we feel right now. We've got this as the winner.
I don't think I'm going to change my mind.
I don't think we would. But
I think
again,
my health issues played a part on me going, I don't want to go back into a panel van.
But I think it'll be interesting. We will revisit this video, I believe, and in like a year's time or so, and see how our...
Just me living in it.
Just you. I've been kicked out.
Because he's gone, I want a panel van.
No, I mean, just to see how it has been living in it. Because we've been, majority of the time, as most of you know, on my mum's drive whilst we're converting it.
But living in it.
But living in it, exactly. But I'm saying is, but we've been on the drive, so we haven't been out adventuring. We've done a couple of festivals, but we haven't been out.
Yeah, and I think mean, we are heading to Scotland, so we know some beautiful places where we know we can get this van in and not worry about anything.
Yeah.
But I guess that over the next 4 months, 5 months, it's going to
be
the proper eye-opener.
So we will see, where from when we last went to Scotland to when we've gone to Scotland now, it's going to be what things we have to think about, change, any routes we've had to change because of bridges, all these little things that we have to do, how different it's been. I mean, it's all going to be absolutely bloody amazing,
but
and
we'll
it's
keep
going to be brilliant.
Updated on that, because as you guys know, we show you real time. So the videos you watch is what we've done in that week. We're not ahead, we're not behind. So if we come across those obstacles like we have done in the past, we've always shown it. So I guess if we get to a bridge like we did the first time when we bought the
literally about 10 minutes after we bought the van,
there was a bridge we couldn't get under, but we were aware of it because we drove through it when we went to get the van. So we were aware of it. It's just sat nav sent us to the same place rather than we thought it was taking us around the bridge. It didn't, did it?
And when you talk about heights and stuff like that, yes, obviously it's things we have to think about, but certain places we have height barriers anyway, so the panel van can get in. So either or, we couldn't have parked there properly anyway. It's only if you had like a little small van you might be able to get into it, but we wouldn't have been able to in our panel van anyway. So right now, as of now, we say Luton all the way, win win win. Mine is a Luton just because of the space. Driving it for me is exactly the same. The weight is exactly the same. It's a little bit longer, it's a little bit wider. All in all, it's brilliant. But like I said, the extra space to have, so we can have like the sofa and we can go up to bed, and we've got the proper kitchen. We've got everything what we had in Luna in here, and it is brilliant. Plus a staircase.
I mean, who else has a staircase? Do you know anybody else that has like a proper staircase in the Luton van? I'm sure there's people out there that have. I've seen all the step ladders. But this van was basically, we had to think of Patch. As you all know, Patch is elderly now and he's got health issues. So we had to think of Patch being able to get up and down off the bed, which he couldn't in the Luton, up and down on the sofa, which he couldn't in Luna, and just moving around freely from one place to the next was getting difficult for him. Now, in this van, it has been made with him in mind, but also works incredibly well for us. So he now has this whole space where he can just move about at his own leisure, and I think it's made him a lot happier. And I think it's also helping with his health issues as well, because he can play a little bit more, whereas before he couldn't play.
And he can go anywhere bed-wise. He hasn't got a sort of crouch bar to get onto the sofa.
And he doesn't need us to help him to get anywhere, because he would get, as some of you saw, he could get a little bit aggressive if you picked him up and he didn't want to be picked up. He's a Jack Russell. So I think, for me, it's a win-win. I don't think I, personally, would ever go back to a panel van.
No, ever. I don't either. I don't think we will. But what I will say, and one of the big things that to consider if you're thinking about doing a van build or conversion or anything like that, is whether you're going for a Luton, whether you're going for a panel van, it's all about the layout. So you could have a Luton van and the layout be totally wrong, so it doesn't work for you. Same with a panel van. I mean, Luna was brilliant for us because to our requirements, we got the layout exactly how we wanted it, and it was brilliant. Obviously things would have changed because of the beds. Sorry.
That was because we lived in it first.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have it this way, that way. Our advice is any van you buy, you should just throw your mattress in the back, cooking stove, a bucket, and go and explore in it. And then that way you know exactly how you want to design it, what works for you. What works for us ain't going to work for you.
So like I said, if you don't know, if you're new to us, then basically when we had Luna, we literally got the van, had a mattress in the back with a stove like Billy just said, and off we went. And where I always wanted one of these little cooking areas. So you open the slide door and you're cooking, looking out, isn't this, like Instagram. But basically we found us cooking on the other side, so that's what we did. And so that's where the cooker went and the sink went on the opposite side, and it all evolved over a year, I guess, wasn't it?
It did,
until the van was built. This time we haven't really had that option because we knew the kitchen worked, and so it was basically take out of there, put into here. So it's on the opposite side, and it's a bit of a mind trying to work out. Oh, it's the wrong cupboard on the wrong side. It's still a bit weird.
Brain, doesn't it?
That's not the bin. Wrong side. And it kind of plays on your mind a bit, but it worked for us, and it still works for us. And like I said, having the sofa, it's the same sofa we had. It works for us. with just a few extra bits like a proper mattress rather than a piece of foam. So yeah, all I would say at the end of the day, it all comes down to whether you choose a panel van or a Luton, it's your layout has got to be right for you.
Yeah, definitely. Don't listen to other people saying you must have this, you must have that, and it must be put here and it must be put there.
No.
It's like your own. If you live in a house or if you live in a boat or wherever you live, you will always do things your way, and it can only work if it's done your way, because that's how you live. And if it's quirky to somebody, so what?
Yeah.
It's how you live. It's how it works for you. Like our
Roof light.
when people said you put it on backwards for you, but not for us.
We
It's
put it so we see the
stargazers.
stars.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think one of the biggest things we've learned from panel van to Luton, and one of the major changes was the windows. Because having the sliding windows, obviously, if it rains, it's all coming in, so you have to close the windows, and then it becomes a bit like a sauna. You're sort of sat there, it's raining, it's really muggy or hot, and you can't do anything. You can't have your roof windows open because rain's coming in. You can't have your side windows open, and you're just sat in this sweat box. So
yeah,
when we got Spirit, one of the big things came, proper windows.
Yeah, because at the moment it is pounded down outside, and we've got kitchen windows open. That window's really wide open, and the window behind us is open, and it's so nice because it's muggy, isn't it? Even though there's a storm. That's why we've got our mics on. There's a storm kicking off.
Yeah, we've got thunder going round. We've got rain outside.
It started off such a beautiful sunrise, wasn't it? And then it's just like thunder.
Yeah. So let us know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, stay wild, stay free,
stay non-lost, and safe travels. Sorry, I was just thinking maybe I had more to say, but I haven't.
Have you not?
No, I think I'm fine. Yeah. Take care, guys.
Bye.